Good
Hi.
evening.
Good evening.
Good
Hi,
evening,
everyone.
Paula. Good
Hi.
evening. Y'all come on in. Come on in. Come
Come
on. We're gonna
on.
give everybody a few minutes to come on in while I'm sharing this on my Facebook page. Ladies, come on in. This is Business Week, and we got ex Paula here. And this is going to be an exciting night, you guys. Come on in. While you all are coming in, we are sharing this um, throughout our Facebook pages. You can go ahead and share this as well. Come on in, ladies. As you all know, I am Keisha Spencer, senior leader of the SheEO district. And tonight we have a treat for you: how to identify blind spots in your business with our
Hey.
one Paula Hatton with
Hey,
Synergizing
y'all.
Results. So, what we're going to do, Paula, now I know I can talk a lot about you, but I'm just gonna go ahead and read your bio so that everyone can know exactly who you are, where you come from, and how you got started.
Come
Paula
on.
is the owner and CEO of Synergizing Results LLC, a business consulting and coaching firm. Paula graduated magna cum laude from Strayer University with a Bachelor of Business Administration, concentration in management. She has 20 plus years of experience in business management and equal amount of experience in her personal life coaching. In addition to her degree training, she has over 2,000 plus training hours in business, leadership, coaching, training, and more. Her passion for helping extends beyond her business, and I know this personally. She currently serves as the assistant director of Talk It Out Tuesday, which is a summer camp for teen girls for beautiful, spirited women. In addition to
Mhm.
serving BSW, she is the alumni chapter president at Strayer University, Memphis chapter, a member of the Golden Key National Honor Society, founding chapter member of Phi Sigma Pi National Honor Fraternity, Mid South Feed the Need delegate, National Customer Service Week coordinator, and team mom of the Memphis Braves baseball organization. She is also an active volunteer for the United Way of the Mid South. Paula is
Yes.
a devoted wife, mom, mentor, philanthropist, children's rights advocate, and a business management professional. When she's not helping others, she's enjoying attending baseball games with her family, listening to music. Listen, y'all, we're going to get into this listening to music. 'Cause y'all don't know her nickname is DJ Paul. We're going to tell you a little bit
Mhm.
about that in a minute, but let's get back to the business side. But she enjoys making people laugh. Her goal is to continue to serve and empower businesses in her community through the motto helping everyone one problem at a time.
Yes.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Ex
Hey.
Paula.
Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, CEO, for having me tonight on Business Week. How y'all doing? How y'all doing today?
Good, good, good. So we're just gonna just get right in, Paula. Now I know I just read your bio. Is there anything else significant about Paula Hatton that everyone needs to know? Because I know not everything about you was in that bio. Just reading it, I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's missing some things. Because number one, I didn't even see synergizing results in it. So tell us a little bit about Paula Hatton outside of the bio that everyone can read about. Tell us what we should know about.
Well, she's right. I didn't list everything in the bio. I am a national radio host for iHeartRadio via WDRB Media X
Okay.
Paula. And y'all know I love radio. People who know me know I love music. So being a radio host is awesome and it's fun. I do have a travel business because I like to travel in class. I know the people that I hang around love to travel in class,
Yes.
and we like to travel affordable. So you want a good deal, but you want to stay with the first class. So I do service that for my clients as well.
Okay.
I um, my business, Synergizing Results LLC. You mentioned it. I do coaching, I do consulting, business consulting, and we're here. I help clients find blind spots in their business, and people who know me know I think a certain way. And so helping to find blind spots is just something that comes naturally only because I think in certain ways. So yeah.
So let me ask you a question. How did you get started with synergizing results? The name sounds so powerful. Synergizing results make you think about, just a full energy, just a full fledged energy, ready to just take off. So, how did you get started?
Well, I came up with the name Synergizing Results because I wanted to work with people. My job is not really to do things my job is not really to do things by myself. I want to work with the client to achieve results, so we're doing it and achieving results together. And what made me really just get focused and start my business is because during this pandemic there are a lot of people who were not able to take advantage of the resources that were out there because they didn't have their business stuff together. It's like they didn't have a business bank account, or they didn't have the right business formation, or they didn't have all of their personal and business stuff separated. It was something that kept them from actually getting the money. And I was like, I talk to people about this all the time. It's time for me to really get in there and really start helping people because our community, we need the money, and
Yeah,
that's one of the
most
biggest deterrents from us growing is our resources, and the biggest resource being money.
okay, listen. I realized it last year because a lot of people were going out and they were trying to get these businesses and these business licenses just to get that loan that was, that PP loan that was out there, and they didn't really understand the logistics of it, and so if they had someone like you to say, look, no, this is where you need to start, and if you structure it right, you don't even have to go out and do those things. And so uh
And
it was
start over.
very,
I tell people it's hard to get focused in the middle.
yeah,
Anytime you get on the road and then you have to stop and then try to go back and get organized, it is
yeah,
very difficult. So it's like, look, let's help everyone get started at the beginning. Let's start at stage one and let's get everybody organized so that when these opportunities come about, then they're ready to apply and they're
yeah.
ready to get funded.
See, and see, just a personal testimony of myself, you know, when I was starting my nonprofit organization, and I didn't even the vision was not to be a nonprofit organization. It was going
Mhm.
somewhere else. But the license that I purchased was so wrong. It was so
Oh my
dead
God,
wrong.
yeah.
I added my children on there and everything because I'm like, this can be something that I pass on. And so just
Mhm.
not knowing, what you need to have
Yeah.
will cause you to get in a world of trouble with the IRS, and nobody wants to be in trouble with the IRS.
Right. I know. And waste a lot of money. It's like when you
Okay.
first starting, people normally have limited funds unless you have secure funding in the beginning. People normally have limited funds. And so you want to spend your money specifically on what you need to spend it on, like trial and error and getting the wrong, like you said, like signing up for the wrong license,
Yeah.
signing up for the wrong page, just signing up for all the wrong stuff will waste money because then you have to go back and start over. Now you have to do it all over again. And in business, time is money.
Yeah.
Time is definitely
That
money. So,
time is
not
definitely
only are you wasting your money, you wasted time that you could be serving clients.
money. See,
Hmm.
and that money factor, we ain't got time to waste no money right about now.
Right. Every
So,
dollar counts.
okay. So getting back to blind spots in your business, what are some blind spots that people actually need to be on the lookout for, or some things that they can hire you to point out for them?
What you know what? The biggest blind spots that people need to look out for are ones that will get them sued.
Mm,
A lot of times we don't think about as a business owner that someone may be able to sue us, or a blind spot where someone is able to take your intellectual property.
mm-hmm,
It's a lot of things that come along with business. You think everything is good, and next thing you know, someone is suing you because you use their name, or you have to sue someone because they used your name, or
mm-hmm.
you didn't put just the right verbiage on your contract, or
Yeah.
you didn't put the right verbiage on your website.
Mm-hmm.
You launch a website and you're like, okay, thank you, but you have to inform them certain things like you're going to be using cookies on the site to track their movement. So if you don't have that disclaimer and they accept it while going on your site, that's a liability.
Yeah.
So the biggest things that I normally look for are things that will get you in trouble down the line, things that will, cause your customer to be displeased,
Yeah.
because you may not
Okay.
think that it's a problem for a customer. But when I normally, when I'm talking to my clients, I'll be like, well, now how is the customer going to navigate through the process? And
Yeah.
then when you think about it, you're like, well, I really didn't think of that, because customers now, because we have the internet, they'll come on and they'll blast your business.
Yes, they
So those blind spots
will.
are very they will come on, they'll get any, and that stuff goes viral.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
it's like you don't want to work hard for your business only to not think about you should have had somewhere where a customer can complain,
Okay.
or a refund policy on your website. Do you have a refund policy that
Yeah.
says, hey, if you're not satisfied, this is how we're going to refund you your money?
So do you typically do you just kind of proofread, or help someone structure their business plan, or how, what is it that you will assist them with identifying those blind spots?
Well, the first thing I like to do is to understand what you have. What do
Hmm.
you have already in place? Because as we speak, I'm coming up with I'm at the close of a workbook where people can go through the workbook and they can do a checklist. Do I have this? Do I have that? And I want to know everything you have. And
Okay.
so I will go look at your website, and I look from a different lens. Sometimes I may look from a customer looking to buy your product. And if I don't see certain things on there, then I'm like, okay, let me get that. Then I like to look at your business operations.
Hmm.
How are you operating? Do you have everything organized? I like to look at your schedule. Are you scheduling things right? It's
Yeah.
just a bunch of things that a business owner needs, that you have to look at different aspects.
Hmm.
So I get you to tell me what you're doing now, and then I'll go down the list and I'll say, okay, this is where I can help you.
So, just from a personal experience, name something that you found that somebody has done within a company that, something had to make you say, you know what, I'm starting to see this too much, and this, I can help people with this. Like, what happened that made you decide to just dive into making sure people business are legit and are running smoothly? Like, something, I know something had to happen. You had been working for somebody. You ain't got to disclose the name, but something happened that made you say, enough is enough. Somebody needs to be on a certain platform that can help businesses elevate the right
Mhm.
way.
Like I said, it's a lot of people, just the basic simple, having a business bank account, that's separate from your personal bank account, where all of your business transactions go through
Mm-hmm.
your business bank account.
Okay.
So all of your financial transactions, whether it be withdrawals, whether it be debits, anything with debits and credits, if it's either one of those, it needs to go through your business bank account. So when we were looking at the PPP application, asks you, how much do you spend on, payroll? Let's just say payroll. And someone was like, well, I paid this person X, Y, and Z amount of dollars.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at the bank account, like, well, how did you pay them? They was like, well, I paid them in cash
Okay.
because they couldn't get the ID. And, and I'm like, well, that's good that you paid them in cash and and all that, but you definitely have to have those business things separate. It's no way around it, even from the way that you form your business.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people will form a sole proprietorship not knowing that you're responsible, the where the responsibility lies in you just forming a business. And so we had someone got their money garnished.
Mm-hmm.
Someone got their money garnished because number one, you didn't have a separate business and personal account.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you mix your personal account with your business account and you aren't set up so that you personally aren't liable, they can garnish your personal account.
Mm.
And so your personal debts will come out of your personal account. But if you mix your business money in with your personal money and you look up and you wake up in the morning and you a few and you some thousand short, it's like,
Oh
okay,
my.
what's going on? Now you want to call
Okay.
everybody, and now you like, I'm a business, I got a business license, that's my business account. No, no,
But you
no, that's
ain't
not
handle
your
your
business.
business the right way.
Right, you didn't handle the business behind the business, and so now you trying to figure out how you can get your money back, and there's no recourse when someone takes your personal money because you didn't separate your business from your personal. So don't put your business money in your personal account and think that that money is protected.
Okay. Look, tell me
No.
something. Look.
Yeah, yeah. And you know what? Like people have student loans, people
Uh-huh.
have like taxes,
Mm-hmm. And
personal taxes that they probably had before they even started their business. Right. And so when the IRS comes, they don't know, they don't care if there's your money to look, they're taking their money. So you have to have all of your stuff separate. And so that was one of the biggest things. I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. People need help. People really,
okay,
really
people
need
really
help.
need help. People really need help.
But
And
I
you
know it's some people probably checking, like, hold on, let me see
okay?
who I owe because I know I'm not doing the right thing. I'm telling you. So that's devastating to wake up and your business money, because when you're doing business, you need to be able to spend money at the drop of a hat. I added my business receipts up from last year, and we spending money
Yeah.
like this, and so you have to be able to access that money to do business. So that's a devastating feeling to wake up and your money is gone.
Okay. So, do you have like a typical system or process in which you do, which you kind of like, just say for instance, I'm new to the business world, and
Hmm.
I want to get my business structure right, and I want to start my expenses right, and I want to make sure everything is aligned. What type of system do you suggest, in which to get those things in order? Because normally that's the problem right there. We don't put things in order. We got something over here. We writing this down. Receipt book
Yeah.
over here. We're doing some on this device and on that device, and we don't have
Hmm.
everything together. And so when somebody says, "Okay, get out all of your expenses," and then you like, "Well, I got to pull it from over here, pull it
Why
from
you
there.
like,
I
uh-oh.
got a jar right here with all my receipts in it." I guess.
Hmm.
So what
Yeah.
type of system would you put in play for that?
Okay, well, first I want to gauge I want to gauge if the person is even familiar with bookkeeping and keeping
Mhm.
up with their information and transactions. Because let's be honest, sometimes you have to hire people.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to hire a bookkeeper. Sometimes it's beyond you, it's
Yeah.
above you. It's like, hey, I have this. And if you're not really knowledgeable in taxes, your receipts have to be separated based on what you use them for. Because when it's time to file your taxes, you can only use certain things in a percentage.
Oh,
So you may not be able to claim stuff 100%. And some
okay.
things you can claim 100% on. And so you have to separate, like, let's say,
Hold on, Paula. Hold
um,
on. Hold on, Paula. I don't mean to interrupt you. Now, I hope y'all got y'all pen and paper out because these y'all know it's tax season, so y'all better be taking these tools while you're getting them now. Y'all better take advantage of this. Okay, so you got to separate your receipts. Now, what's next?
you have to separate your receipts, and you have to separate them into why you used it. Okay,
Okay.
so for example, let's just say you're in Memphis. Okay, let's start over. I live in Memphis, and let's just say I have a client that I take out to eat in Memphis because we're trying to close the deal. That's one receipt. But let's just say I travel.
Mm-hmm.
I travel to Atlanta to meet a client.
Mm-hmm.
See, these are travel expenses
Okay.
versus your regular everyday expenses. So you have a list on your taxes for travel expenses.
Mm-hmm.
So let's just say you pay for parking in downtown Memphis. Okay, if you pay for parking while traveling, the taxes are separated into everything that you do. So you have to have a system in which you keep all of your receipts separate.
Okay.
And so if you're not versed in oh, if you're not versed in bookkeeping, then
Mm-hmm.
you should hire someone to help you with bookkeeping, because at the end of the year, when the time comes, business people spend a lot of money.
Yes.
Business people spend a lot of money. You may get money, but you also spend a lot of
Yeah,
money, and you
you
need to know what is categorized. Even like if you start a business, if you start a business, it's only a certain amount of money you can claim for startup.
yeah.
Right. So if you don't know that, you don't know if you go put that in startup or if you go put that in regular business operations. And so if you're not versed in where to even keep my receipts, then
Okay.
you should hire a bookkeeper. And I
Gotcha.
know when you're starting a business, you're saying, well, I'm paying for this, I'm paying for that. It's some things that you will need to spend money on.
You're gonna have
But
to invest in yourself.
you do, but if you want to do it yourself, there are like QuickBooks has an app, right?
Mm.
And you can scan your own receipts. So you don't have to keep up with a box of receipts. As you use them, you scan them. And so QuickBooks will scan it into the system and it'll put it on your ledger. It'll put it where it goes. But are you versed in QuickBooks?
I did look. That was going to be my next thing because everybody is not. Everybody, we hear the term all the time. I'm not very tech savvy. I used to say that all the time by myself until I started. Sometimes when the money run out a little bit,
You got to
you
get
got to
tech
learn some
savvy.
things until
No,
you
you
get
are.
to that point. And see, I already know when my money get real, real, real long. I'm just gonna hire everybody to do everything.
Right.
It
You
just
have a team.
listen.
Exactly. You have a team.
A team gives you a peace of mind
Yes. And
because
so you really
you
divide things into what you can do and what you
yes,
need help with, right? So I'm good at taxes. I know taxes. Well, until my money, like you said, until my money reaches that level where I want somebody on deck all day, every day, taking all my transactions in, then I'll keep up with it. But if you don't know, then this is where you need a bookkeeper. And it's
yeah,
about being honest. Don't tell people that they can do something when they really can't. You have to be honest with your client and let them know. If you know that you're not good at it, hire somebody. And some stuff, you're gonna have to learn
yes, and
along the way. It's like you gonna be like, look, okay, I'm getting to learn. So the system, the biggest thing about systems is you have to understand how it works behind the scenes. And if you don't understand that, either A, you're gonna have to learn, or B, you have to pay somebody.
And it's just dead on it.
And that's
And it's just dead on it.
yeah, you
Look,
have to learn, you have to pay somebody.
listen, y'all. This is ex Paula in here tonight. So, we get ready to get in our second half and we want to just turn up a little bit. Ex Paula, tell us about your radio show. I just, because here's the backstory, you guys. Now, I've only been knowing Paula for a short period of time since October, and I can't tell you how many times I've exed Paula because she is like a book of resources because she does so much research. And so she has a
Mhm.
radio show called Ex Paula. And, tell us a little bit about your radio show.
Okay, I named the radio show. Well, my radio show is the edutainment show. So I know that most people, in business, sometimes they like to be able to relate to people that they know. And
Hmm.
so if I talk to you about something that Master P did, because a lot of
Hmm.
people knows Master P and his business, if I talk to you about some of the business moves that he made and tie it into how it relates to your business, you can see it better. Like, okay, I remember when he did A, B, C, and D.
Yes.
And so I decided that I wanted to do edutainment because I want an entertainment factor because people like to know the tea,
Yeah.
but I do want you to do it with business education. So each show, I'm going to tell you some tea, and it may be business related, and it may just be something that's going on that may help you personally. And I'm going to give you something business. So it is an edutainment radio show, and I named it Ask Paula just simply because I want people to have questions to ask me, and it's also a play on my real life because every time something happens, they always say, "Well, let's ask Paula. Well, let's ask Paula."
Just
They do
ask
it. All-
Paula. Here's Paula live with the current events. Listen, what's
yeah.
happening in
So
business?
exactly. So when we talking, and knowing people say, "What happened?" and I say, "Okay, this." And a lot of people look at T as just T, but I'm looking at what type of business moves people are making. And a good example would be right now, Tiny and Ti have a lot going on, but you have to see what they have going on. How is that going to affect their business? How is this going to affect their business? And this is a good thing for people who, you know, I know that I will be a millionaire. So when you are
Okay.
thinking about your millions of dollars and how you're spending it, you also have to think about how you're keeping it. And
Exactly.
so your image is very important. I know we did a live last night about image. Your image is very important. And so when I'm talking to business people, normally people are thinking where they are today.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, okay, I got I'm a thousandaire today,
Uh-huh.
but I want to be a millionaire. So I'm gonna turn up, I'm gonna do these things, not thinking about the millionaire self.
Mm-hmm.
So when you look at the things that famous people do, you need to learn already, get in your mind that you go avoid the traps.
Yeah.
So that is how I came up with the concept behind my radio show because we won't all be thousandaires forever. And you really need to know the traps that millionaires are making. What problems are they having? Because you too will be a millionaire. And
Yes.
so we don't want you to make that same mistake.
Yeah. And a lot of people make those mistakes. Even millionaires, they make those mistakes.
Mhm.
Our president, for example, with the whole tax situation, if you don't have your affairs in order, and not only that, if your image does not match your money, then it's a possibility that one
Mhm.
of the two is going to be affected because you got to line up with greatness. If that bank account great, your attitude and everything else got to walk great with it, or else, just like just like the King Nebuchadnezzar. Sometimes you got to get broke down and get
Exactly.
started back over and do it the right way. And
Well,
so,
a lot of people talk about our president, but our president had a good bookkeeper. He had a good
but
tax accountant. You
yeah,
know, um, it goes a lot to say. Those resources are important.
most
When you talking
definitely,
about running a business, your business coach, your business consultant, your
yeah,
tax person. All those people are key in saving you money.
Yeah.
So uh, all he did was use the tax codes to make sure that he kept the majority of his money. And
Okay.
so we can, once again, we have to learn a lot from what celebrity people are doing. So you have to look past the antics. You
Yeah.
have to look past all the drama and look at the people for what resources you can get out of
Yeah.
them. And
Yeah.
so when they said Trump only paid like $100 in taxes, you should have been like, wait a minute, how is this possible when I know they taking out this amount of money in taxes on me? And so don't look at what he's doing, look at what he's accomplishing.
Exactly. Exactly. And you know what? I know our topic is how to identify blind spots in your business, but
Hmm.
there's also a such things as blind spots in your personal life that you
That's
got
right.
to identify in order to strive in your business.
Hmm. Yep.
Like like for example, like we were just talking about bringing.
Hmm.
And if you don't know how to market yourself, then there goes the downscaling of your business. It's not going to be where you want it to be, even though you may have this great big vision.
Great idea.
Then
Yep.
you may have invested bukus of money, but you're
Hmm.
still, stuck and you're not walking with your brand. And so, what would be stopping you from doing it? Like what are those blind spots in your personal life that will prevent your business from just taking off with the intent when you first started your business?
You know what? Understanding that there isn't a difference between you as a person and you and your business, because everything you post on social media, people are looking to see if they want to do business with you, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're posting on there, everything you post is a cuss word, or let's say you have an issue with a client, and the first thing you do is go to social media and tell them everything that happened. She came, she left, she went, and I did this, that will leave a bad taste in
Look at
people's
my
mouths.
face.
Yeah,
Look at my face. Cause I see it all the
all the
time.
time. Yes, you see it all the time. You scrolling down your timeline, and you know what? As a person, the first thing you do is you like, what's going on? And
Yeah.
so you looking and you go read the whole thread, right? You go read every single. So now it's like, okay, who said what? This person
Uh-huh.
said this.
How did they respond to it?
How
I look at that too. I look at,
How did they respond? Exactly. You don't have to buy anything from me because I make and see those things, your personal self. People aren't buying from a business, they're buying from people.
yeah.
And so when someone spends their money, they want to make sure that the person that they're buying from is somebody that's credible,
Mm-hmm.
someone that's not going to ruin their reputation.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I work with you, and also someone who is not going to spill the tea in your life,
Yeah.
because it's some things that you may do that's proprietary that you may not want everyone to know that you're working on.
Yeah.
Is the person that I'm working with going to keep a level of anonymity when dealing with me and my business? And
Yeah.
so people, the biggest thing people have is not separate, not knowing that their personal self and their business are one and the same, especially when you're getting started. Like Sam Walton doesn't have to post on social media. He has a
Exactly.
social media team that posts for Walmart. He don't even have a social media page that people can come to. But until you get to that point, you are the point of contact for your friends and your family and people, potential clients. So
Yeah.
they want to know that you are legit and you are a professional. So that's
Yeah.
the biggest blind spot to look out for is once you know you're about to start a business, understand that you don't have any more privacy. The
Let me
privacy is over.
okay. Let me ask you a question. When going into business, and this is more of a personal question, like, and I see this a lot, and it's sort of separated. It kind of goes along the line of being able to have some money to back you up, because uh
Mhm,
I'm seeing where a lot of people that have businesses are
mhm,
stating that they are not people person. Like, I'm
Person.
not a people
Mhm.
person, but they're starting businesses and they become successful in these businesses, and you never see them, you never know anything about them. But then I
That's
guess that
right.
goes along with having that money and
Money.
having
Yep.
a team to run your business for you so you can set in the background. So in other words, if you're not in that place financially
Right.
when you kickstart your business, how do you learn to become a people person until you can get to that point?
Well, all the time, and I know people buy from people, but it depends really on how you structure your business in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
How you start your business is how people are going. If you start posting your business on your personal page, that's what people are going to look for. But sometimes people start businesses and they just start a business with a name. And so
Yeah.
you never know the person that's attached to the business.
Yeah.
And so people say, well, I'm not a people person. In order to do business, you have to be a people person. And it's not so much that you have to like everything that everyone says, but you have to treat your customers and
Yeah.
clients with respect. And so if you don't, a lot of people just have somebody doing that part for them, because
Yeah.
now we have automation that'll reply to a lot of stuff for people. And so you don't have to be so involved with the people, but we're all
Yeah.
persons, people, when it refers to when it comes to business. But now, depending on how you start, you may be able to get away with it, not having to deal with people. But if you start, then that's how you're gonna have to keep it up until you can hire people.
Look, so how do we get away from uh having some negative feedback put on the Better Business Bureau?
Well, do what you say. Do what you say you go do. Give the people, and that goes back to number one when I said when we look at your website and you say, do you have your return policy?
Mm-hmm.
Also, this is where business comes in. Are you keeping accurate records?
Mm-hmm.
Because like, let's say that I buy something from you and I just buy it. Like, hey, you have a book, right? And I just buy your book cash in hand and you give me a book. You
Mm-hmm.
don't have a receipt or any documentation of the
Yeah.
transaction. And so if you start with documentation, you have to follow the process through with documentation. So
Yes.
like, let's say if someone orders from your website, if they order from your website, you have to have a way to track that you sold it to that person, because they pay through a vendor,
Mm-hmm.
right? They may pay through PayPal or they may pay through Square,
Mm-hmm.
and they can say, "Well, I never got my product."
Mm.
And so you have to do
Mm.
business. When doing business, you have to follow the process. So if they start on paper, the process goes through on paper. Don't skip the middle part and say, well, I don't want them to charge me that 3% on this and on the shipping. So I'll take it to the person.
Mm.
And when you take it to the person, you don't have documentation showing that you dropped it off or that they
Mm.
received the product. You should have some kind of way of tracking to say they received my product. So in order to stay off in order to remain A plus with the Better Business Bureau, you have to be prepared to do business with people.
Yeah.
And people will try to get over on you because PayPal is one of those places where people try to dispute
Yeah.
charges. And so it's very important to keep your documentation. And as long as you keep your business and documentation in check, when the Better Business Bureau come, because they're going to ask you for a
Yeah.
response. And when you show them, here is the product, here
Mm-hmm.
is the receipt, here is
Yeah.
where I mailed it, here is the tracking number, this is when they dropped it off, here is the signature, the Better Business Bureau will say closed
Okay.
because they provided documentation. But
Yeah.
anytime you try to skip a step, that's where you start cutting into, bad ratings and
Yeah.
people being able to speak negatively about your business. So doing business is very important in all aspects.
And you know what? And that make me think about something also, as far as
Mhm.
responding, like having a prompt response. That's great customer
Yeah.
service. If somebody emails you, if somebody,
Mhm.
reaches out to you to give them a prompt response, even if the response say, I will get back to you.
Exactly. Exactly.
It's just responding and acknowledging someone, because that a lot of times, not just in business, but in a lot of different areas, just not
Mhm.
getting a response will frustrate the client, the customer, or
Yes.
whoever, just giving a prompt response. I think that's a very huge thing within businesses. And
Mhm.
it can also delay you from something, as far as like checking emails and things like that. And you're not, if
Mhm.
you're not in a habit of doing that, and
Yes.
you can have some sitting there for so long, and it was the invoice that you were supposed to pay, and then boom,
That's
the lights
right.
off in your business office because you didn't just let MLG and W just slide on down the email.
Yes,
And
you're right.
you didn't have them on auto pay, so it's just you just messed up because you weren't paying attention.
And you know what, Keisha, that's a good point about having a prompt response.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you do business over the internet, you're doing business with people that may be in California that may not know Keisha Spencer, right? And
Yeah,
so they want to do business with someone that's credible. And
yeah,
so when you start to not responding to their emails, they start to think that maybe this is a scam, maybe they're
yeah,
taking my money. And so they start to panic. And even though, like with the pandemic, shipping and all of that
yeah.
was delayed, and so people were used to getting their stuff in like 2 days, like with Amazon. But
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you couldn't get it to them in 2 days, and so they started to get nervous and for
Yeah.
check their email. Let me call them, let me send them a message.
Mm-hmm.
Having an automated service that's going to spit that email right back to them and say thank you for contacting me. Thank you for contacting me. I received your message. Somebody will be in contact with you in 24 hours, to
Mm-hmm.
get back with you with a response. So at least they do know that, hey, this is someone answering and someone will be back with me, and do what you say you're going to do. So if you say you'll get back in 24 hours, get back in 24 hours.
Hours.
Exactly. So whatever you put in that
Word.
email, exact. Whatever you put in that email response, make sure that you're able to do it.
Yeah. And I know we had been talking about this a time before about just being on automation. Like
Uh-huh.
and just how important having things to take the stress off you as an individual, because the internet is so marvelous. These apps are amazing. Whoever is creating these apps are geniuses,
Hmm.
because before these things were created, it's like, how many people had to be hands on to
Yes.
deliver information the way we receive it this day. So, like about that automation, like what are some ways that people can automate their business to alleviate a lot of the stress as far as responding and even just being consistent with the marketing?
You know what? And that's one thing that I'm working on for my company right now is learning automation. Listen, automation, when you think about automation in your head, you like, okay, if I could just get someone to do all these things, then everything will be great, right? But
Hmm.
you still have to have a plan for automation. And you know what? One thing that people can use are templates, right? And
Hmm.
so always have your email template ready to go. If you don't have an automation system that you're currently working with,
Hmm.
have templates ready on questions that you answer often. So
Yeah.
if you have it, you can just copy paste it and put it in
Yeah.
there. Automation is really about taking things that you do often
Mhm.
and creating a way to make it shorter. And
Mhm.
so having auto responses for your email, having it so that people can pop up and talk to
Mhm.
you on the chat, just small things that you do that will save
Yeah.
you time is just going to help you out so you don't have to do the same thing over and over. Creating templates, that's one
Neat.
of the best things that you can do so you don't have to do it once. And
Okay.
so and that's why I always preach to people, go ahead and start in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because if you do the template one time And it
Mhm.
may be whatever you're doing, it may be a little bit time consuming.
Yeah.
But if you do it that one time, all you have to do is keep pressing the button
Yeah.
over and over and over again. And so you can use that same template, just change the name. You
Yeah.
can use the same thing, just change the address. It's just certain things. And then the program does all that for you sometimes.
Okay.
But if you don't have it, because I know when we start business, a lot of times we're trying to figure out where we're going to put our money. I
Yeah.
say the biggest thing you do is create templates for
Mhm.
everything you do. So if you have coaching clients, it should be you should have a client form that you use that's on autopilot. Here you go,
Yeah.
here's your form. Here you go, here's your form. And
Exactly.
so you shouldn't have to keep creating a form
Exactly.
every time you have a customer. You shouldn't have to keep creating questions to ask every time you have a customer.
Yes.
So just doing those things one good time.
Yeah.
Take your time and do your business one good time.
Pretty much like having a digital system just available.
Yeah.
Because I took some time and I did that a few weeks back where I
Yeah.
was, getting my filing system together where
Yeah.
I have all of this in one file so I don't have to look for it. It saves you time, it saves you
Yes,
money, and it
it
saves you
does.
the I just feeling confused and rambling,
Yes,
because
like where is this? Where's
we
the
ramble
file?
so much till we just say forget it.
Mhm.
I even have to put myself on a timer sometimes when I'm doing something so I can stay focused on that one
Mhm.
particular thing. But one of the things that you was talking about on the automation, and I've been seeing this a lot when you're on somebody's website, and then the little listen, that little friend, that's a friend to the friendless when that little chat box pop up.
Yes, yes, yes. The chat
Look,
box is everything.
Look, that little chat box. And so it's like you're actually hiring somebody to be that customer service rep, or it's a computer generated thing for frequently asked questions. And so
Mhm.
you know how some people would look over frequently asked questions and still turn around and ask you the same question.
Mhm. And you know what? I know a lot of people like to have a lot of anonymity when it comes to their pricing.
Mm-hmm.
But just go ahead and tell people how much you go charge so they'll
Yeah.
stop waste so they won't waste your time and just be upfront. Like they want you to click this button. Then after you click this button, they want you to download and then they want you to go to the email and then they want you to talk and they want you to do a lot of things. But I have found that being transparent with people gets you a long way. And so when you talk about that little chat button, sometimes people just want to know how much is this gonna cost?
That's it.
How much is it gonna cost so
And
they can
that's
you
why
can
I'm reaching out to you because I need
yes.
your services and I need to see what my budget
Right,
needs to be so I can get prepared. I've already decided that I need you because I looked you up.
right. And you know what? A lot of people, business people work late at night,
Yeah.
right? I know anybody who knows, they be
Yeah.
like, "Do you sleep?"
Let me
Business,
look at the eyes.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Team
Business
no
people,
sleep.
and I know Miss Lakeisha Dixon talked about last night about burning the midnight oil, and so at 1 o'clock. The person when they're trying to put their package together and
Mm-hmm.
they're trying to put something together, they want to be able to get it right then because
Yeah.
that may be the only free time that they have.
Yeah.
And so when you have that little button at the bottom and it gives them even the automated response like yes, I would like pricing info, and you spit a PDF that lets them know all the information that they need, that's invaluable to your business. So, I know a lot of people go through a lot of things to try to um close the sale, and they
Yeah.
want to talk to you and they want to, well, what, and keep going back and forth. But the biggest thing is with a business person, be upfront and have your information ready because sometimes they don't really have the time.
Most definitely.
And
Because
you
they
know what?
you busy, you busy.
And I know you mentioned earlier about apps.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there are programs that will help your apps work together.
Mm-hmm.
And so you know how you click on, like you might have to click on calendar, and you might like to click on
Yeah.
job form, and then you have to go to I got to go to MailChimp, and then I have to go through this. It's certain things that help all of those processes run together, so you don't have
Yeah.
to keep going to a lot of different places to say, well, let me pull this up, let me pull this up. You can get all of that and integrate it all into one, and you can just, when somebody emails you, it'll pop right up to your
Yeah.
calendar. And so you
Yes.
don't have to say, well, let me go to and send you my link,
No,
right?
I
Because
got you. Yeah,
so
when you,
like
I
yeah,
seen
so
that.
if you doing something, you will say, well, let me do A, B, C, and D. So if they message you, when you can get a response that sends them right back to your calendar, hey, if you want to book some time, go ahead and click the link. And so it's not you having to stop and say, I got an email, she want to talk to
Hmm.
me. Here is the time to book it. You can get all those things working together. So in business, it's really about working smart and not hard.
Okay, and you can't be so cheap about it. You got to go ahead and pay for those upgrades. Not
Yeah,
everything is going to be free.
be free,
You got to invest in those systems like that calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Just being able to integrate your calendars where everything is in one place, and you're not
Mm-hmm.
you're being able to give everybody the time that they deserve, that they're paying you for, and you're not overlapping time. You're
Yes,
not having to reschedule with somebody because you didn't schedule this person at the same time as that person. So integration,
exactly.
having everything coincide where you can go straight to that and I can respond to you because I know where to find this information that is very
Exactly.
much so needed.
It
So
is.
with synergizing results, how can everyone get in touch with you and help and hire Paula Hatton to help them find their blind spots in their business? Because I'm sure a lot of people are listening, and Chad, I need, Lord have mercy, because listen,
You know what? And just to before I tell you that, just to go back to when you said you're gonna the free versions of stuff, the free version, let me give you a tip. Let me give you a hot tip.
come on with it.
Have an email address where you can send um spam stuff to, and just miscellaneous stuff, so you can try free versions before you use your real business stuff that you put in. And
Yeah.
so I have an email that I use, that I try different systems out
Uh-huh.
before I put my synergizing results email in to really link it.
Yeah.
That free version will let you know if you really need that product. So don't be afraid to don't sign up for everything under your business email. Get
That's
you an
that's a good
email.
one. That's a good
Get,
one.
get you, because number one, you don't want your business email junk in it that's telling you, hey, remember this free trial,
Yeah.
remember this, hey y'all, we got a new version,
You got
and
all
you
kind
think
of promotions in it.
yes, get you one email for promotions, right? And so when you're going to get these different apps, and most of them always have a free version, get you an email that's gonna send all that stuff where you can go and look back if you want to, if
Yeah.
you want to see if it worked, if it's gonna fit your business, because you don't always buy the first thing.
Yeah.
And so get that ancillary email so that you can go back and read it if you want to. But you don't
Exactly.
want to, when that email pops up, you know that that may be some junk email, right? But
Hmm.
when your business email pops up, you like, hey, I know this is business. So
Okay.
you won't have to keep sending all that free stuff. And like when people say I give you a free download, put all that stuff over there, and so you won't have that intertwined into your business, because
Exactly.
that's going to save you a lot of space on your business email to focus on business.
Exactly.
And so you can find me at www.synergizingresultsllc.com. You
Hold on.
can find me
Y'all listening? Slow that down a little bit.
okay. You can see at the bottom it says Synergizing Results. It's Synergizing Results LLC.com, all one word. You can also find me on Facebook on Synergizing Results LLC, and I do answer my chats on my business page. 'Cause I love chat. I'm a chat girl.
Okay, is that right? www.synergizingresultsllc.com.
You can find me. You can also find me on Instagram. It's x.paula on Instagram, x.paula, and you can find me on my personal page at Paula Hatton Bannis on Facebook. And so I do like to help you out. I know you may have a lot of questions. I would love to answer questions for y'all because I'm ex Paula, so I love to, yes, I love to ask and answer questions because the biggest thing is I don't like people to make mistakes that
Yeah,
they really can go ahead and fix on the front end. That's probably one of the biggest reasons. I'm like, oh my gosh, that was just so easy. We could have fixed that right then, like right
yes,
now. And so it's not as hard as you think it may be,
yeah,
but you go ahead and ask. And
yeah.
in the SheEO district, we have all of our leaders are accessible.
Mm-hmm.
Our leaders are accessible. If you need help, please feel free to reach out to us because that's why we're here. We're here as a business resource. None of us are untouchable. You can always message us. We are here for you. We're here to help you and your business grow. We don't want anyone who is in the reach of us, the CEO district, to say, I didn't know.
Exactly.
That can't be a reason for
Exactly.
2021 if you're looking at this live. Don't let that be the reason to say you didn't know because we are
Okay.
here. And a lot of times we can guide you to the resources. We can't do everything for you, but we do know where to find the resources. Between
Most
all of
definitely.
us, we can definitely point you into the direction. I listen. We
Listen,
can put
it's a
you where you need
dream
to be.
team. It is a dream team.
We
And
can
listen,
get you.
y'all, before we
Yeah,
get off, before we get out of here, y'all, I just want to I want to end with a laugh. First of all, thank everyone for tuning in
thank
tonight.
y'all.
Paula really dropped some gems. I hope you all were taking notes. If you catch the replay, just put hashtag replay and you guys give us some feedback. Let us know that you enjoyed the information and that you're going to take this information with you in your business. And not only that, ask Paula. Listen, if you just at that roadblock, and just like for myself personally, I like to help people find their purpose in life, like
Yes.
define their niche. But once you find that niche, somebody's gonna need to be there to help you structure it.
Exactly.
Because you will be all over the place because we're so passionate about what we do. And then when you start a business, you have a purpose in mind when you start that business, but you
Mhm.
can't completely fulfill that purpose unless you have correct business structure. So thank you,
Yeah.
Paula, for all the gems that you dropped on tonight. But before we go out, listen, y'all, Paula is like quote unquote uh a down to earth nerd. I'm not gonna say the term that we use outside of business week, but she's like the quote unquote nerd, and she was in this book club, and she's probably gonna give me for telling you all this. She had a nickname because they handed out nicknames, and Paula's nickname was, what was your nickname, Paula?
It's your story.
Paula's Paula's nickname was Superhead, y'all. Put that in the chat. Listen, what was your name, Superhead? So we can clarify this because that's a big thing right there. It's like mega mind. You know what I'm saying? So y'all, anybody whose mind is in the gutter is because either you don't have money, you ain't got no. We talking about after gutter. Why
But
was your
it
name
was kind of
Superhead?
like a play. It was a play on words, but I really, really, really like to know what's going on. Like, I do not like to not know how to do something. So, and people do know that I find out right then. Like, if I don't know,
Exactly.
I'm gonna find out. Like, look, hold on one second. Let me
Hold
make
up.
sure. Look,
And
hold on
she
one
had
second.
this,
If you
and she
talk
had this muddy like tone. This look, hold up, wait a minute.
Look, I am gonna look. I will fact check you on the spot, like you talking, and I'm fact checking right then because I'm like, okay, okay, yeah. I have to make sure that what, and you know what? I like to refer people. I am
Yeah.
a referrer. I love to guide people to resources, and so if I send you to someone, I really want you to believe that that person knows what they're talking about. And
I'm just
so
so tickled with these comments.
right. And so just know that if you're in the CEO and I'm one of the people that work behind the scenes, so you probably won't see me
Yeah, come
out a
on.
lot.
Yeah, come on, Holly Superheads. Give me some tea.
You probably won't see me out a lot, but when I pop out, I like to give you information. So don't, take the business part
Look, I
seriously.
was finna say something else. I was finna say she like to give you head. She like to give you something. Okay, we gonna
Listen,
end this, y'all, because we'll have fun all night again.
we'll have
Thank y'all
fun.
for tuning in. We have fun in the SheEO district. We're
We
about
do.
business, but we're also about fun, love, and laughter. So thank y'all again
Exactly.
for tuning in. Until next time, don't y'all forget, Hype Me Up Friday so y'all can tune in for the SheEO of the week on tomorrow. Y'all have a blessed night.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.